instance, fire and police stations. There's a need for additional capacity in our area that will come with all this extra development. Value of bringing people together to look at the opportunities for our community. Well, the first thing I would say is I'm just always just floored by the deep expertise that our community brings to these types of workshops. Every time we turn around, we find someone who has deep knowledge of the wildlife in the area, or the policies, which are very important to understand. How does a policy framework work, or the connections of the people that are interested and who we need to help out.
A place that becomes that central place. Right now it's all split up. It's diffused, it's spread around, and it's not organized.
We're going to want to pursue a couple of approaches going forward. One is working very closely with the developers, because so much of the land in this area is privately owned. We're really fortunate that we have developers who are very keen on creating a high quality of life in this community. And then working with commission members and county staff on the options and the policy frameworks to move things forward.
That is privately owned. And I think it's hard to raise a good point, because a lot of people are going to try and go to Virginia Highlands Park, so there's still
I love parks, for one thing, so it's in my backyard practically, and so it's always exciting to go there and reimagine the space for how I would prefer to use it, for my dogs and my friends and my neighbors. And I feel like there's so much potential there. I love the neighborhood, and what can we do better to have a space that everybody of all ages can enjoy.
One of the things that I found interesting was the idea of natural spaces versus the active use spaces. In Virginia Highlands Park, I always just think of it as sort of the parking lot and the soccer field that is there, but kind of like looking at it through a different lens was really helpful for me.
One of the ideas that could possibly transform the park in some ways is the idea of an event hump or event hill. And that is, it's loosely based on the amphitheater, the teeny amphitheater at the Arlington Mill, where you can do movie nights. So you have to have some type of, they wanted natural terracing so that it's fun for kids to climb on, but it could also be natural seating if you wanted to host an event there.
And we had people there who had children and had interest in soccer, and other people who had a interest in siting facilities like schools potentially. And then we have a few of us that are really keen on environmental impacts and biodiversity in our parks and community spaces.
Today, you can really see that really is the way to go forward. The enthusiasm, the brainstorming that's happening among these stakeholders, the ideas that are being kind of slowly accumulated. One person suggests something, the next person takes it a little bit further, another person adds something to it, and you end up with an emergent idea that no one stakeholder would have been able to articulate. It really validates the approach, and I think we're going to be able to see some pretty early and tangible results.
dropping branches on it.
It's kind of emblematic across the board, parks and rec across the country.
And I really felt that actually having a pretty broad range of views there from people who knew the park space well and people who really didn't know the park space. And so that helped people open their eyes to what some of the possibilities might be that you hadn't considered.
I think the best way to have any sort of opportunity for parks and for engagement is to get people in a room and start talking to each other.
Of that empty space.
We were able to find common ground and agree to all sorts of good things.